So my article is called I Hate Math, I Couldn't Learn It, and I Can't Teach It. And I found this article in a journal called Childhood Education. So this article focuses on graduate students, and they are having to take a math course in order to get certified for their elementary education degree. And about half of these students are complaining because they didn't really have good experiences with math in their school years, and they're afraid about teaching it to their future students. And the other half had positive experiences, and they think they're pretty comfortable with the thought of teaching it to their students in the future as well. So these students that had a negative experience were asked to identify the factors that kind of led to their negative attitude towards math. So I'm going to cover these 4 factors and explain how I would use them in my classroom. So the first thing that they said was a factor that led to their negative attitude is that teachers taught math as procedures. So basically, they said here is the problem, and here are the steps to solve it. There you go. So they didn't really explain the process and how to get there. They were the kind of teachers that they were really smart, and they thought all students should understand how to complete the problem because it's just easy. And a lot of the graduate students also said that the teachers they had little sympathy if they didn't understand it, and they didn't really have that passion to try to teach them and explain to them the process of solving the problem. So in my classroom, I need to make sure that I am sympathetic towards my students, and I don't make them feel like they're stupid or anything like that if they can't figure it out, and just being encouraging and helping them and encouraging them along the way. Number 2 is that students said that their teachers had way too hard a vocabulary, or they didn't even or they didn't just explain it very well, so they were confused. So in my classroom, I need to make sure that if I'm teaching addition and subtraction, I need to make sure my students are strong in that vocab and basically understand what it means before I move on to a more complex concept. So I need to make sure they understand addition and subtraction before I move on to multiplication. So just taking time and making sure students understand those and can even explain them themselves. The third thing is that graduate students said that a lot of their teachers provided incomplete instruction. So they were kind of lost as how to even solve a problem. What do I do next? So in my classroom, I want to make sure that students know exactly what to do, and that I teach multiple different strategies in solving problems, just to make sure that they understand different ways, and if they don't like a certain method, then they can use a different one. So they have choice in the classroom. And the last one is that a lot of the students thought they had way too much homework, and that really stressed them out and made them frustrated and pretty much caused that math anxiety. And a lot of the teachers also overemphasize rote memory. So again, that's basically saying, here's the problem, step 1, step 2, step 3, answer. And in my classroom, I don't want to focus on rote memory. I want to make sure students understand the steps in solving the problem, and also just to make sure that they understand why they work and make sure that they can explain it themselves. So, for example, for an assignment I would do to make sure students understand how to solve a problem, if students are gifted musically, I could have them make up a song or a rap explaining the steps in how to solve a problem. Or if they are good linguistically, I could have them stand in front of the class and tell us the process and how to solve the problem. Just by having students, giving them choices in ways that they, different ways they are stronger in. So I don't give them one way to explain their understanding. So if I say, okay, write a paragraph explaining how to solve this problem, it's not going to be beneficial for every student. So just providing multiple choices and opportunities in my classroom. So those are the 4 factors that kind of went along to create negative attitude towards math. So I want to try to not have those and make sure my students have a positive attitude towards math and that they'll be lifelong learners.